go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have fall DIYs for you using supplies from the Dollar Tree, and my theme today is sunflowers. I love decorating with sunflowers for fall. It goes great for fall decor, so let's get started with our first DIY. I'm going to use one of these little standard wood crate boxes from the Dollar Tree at Crafter Square, and we're going to make a really cute little sunflower planter box out of this. So I don't want like the stain to be super dark, so I mixed water together with Antique Wax by Waverly to give me a lighter stain. And staining one of these little wood boxes from the Dollar Tree is even easier than painting because you can kind of get in all the little creases and everything there pretty easily and just wipe all the excess off with a paper towel. I did notice certain sides were staining like maybe a little bit different color. So on those sides, I did go over it with another coat. I'm also just going to do the bottom just to kind of make it look more like a finished piece. And I'm not necessarily going to do like the inside, but I do around the edges where you might see in there. And then I did the bottom just because I dripped some in there anyway. Now to decorate our little planter box, they have these great stencils this year in the fall section at Dollar Tree. They're little self-adhesive stencils and they come in all different kinds of patterns. This one had sunflowers on it as well as other fall themed too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint that cool fall pattern on the front. I was trying to decide if I should just leave it all one piece and do it, and I decided I was just going to cut mine. It's just going to make it easier. So I cut that stencil down to the front there, and they're actually just stickers. So basically you guys just have to peel and stick. The only challenging part is getting it started. And I'm going to have like that stained wood background, and then we're going to go over the top of it with some ivory acrylic paint. And I'm going to use a little stencil dauber from the Dollar Tree. And the stencils work pretty good. I did find I had to kind of hold this one on a little bit, but it may be because I didn't really have my Antique Wax by Waverly like super dry before I put it on there. But it did a pretty good job. So here are the results. Isn't that a pretty pattern? I went back and forth about whether to put a word on there, and I ended up actually doing it. I also do want my little planter box to have little feet. So I'm going to use some of these little wood beads. These are from like the wood beads, the square wood beads from the Dollar Tree. And I had some extra ones. So I thought the fact that they were cube shaped would work great for little feet. And so I just stain them with that Antique Wax by Waverly too, so they'll match with the planter box. Super easy. All I have to do is glue one of the little feet into each corner of our little mini planter box. Now this DIY would be great for anywhere. It'd be great for a tier tray because it's small, on a shelf, in a kitchen, in an office, pretty much anywhere. At first I was going to put Hello Autumn on the front, but I kind of felt like it was covering up too much of my cute stencil pattern. So I do end up putting a word on there, but for now I decided to wait. Now the flowers that we're going to use to fill this, I picked up 2 fall flower picks from Dollar Tree. They have some really pretty stuff this year. Their flowers have gotten so much more high end. So I'm going to use just some Dollar Tree foam. I have to cut one piece to get it to fit. I basically just want to fill the box there so I can arrange it. And then a little bit of Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree to cover the foam so you can't see in the planter box. And now it's a matter of just arranging our sunflowers in there. I think it's going to be so pretty. I picked up 2 of these. These had like sunflowers, pumpkins, pine cones, really pretty. Every time I go to Dollar Tree, I went to 2 Dollar Trees today, I find myself picking out more fall florals because they're just so nice. Their flowers used to be so cheap there, and since they've raised their prices, I'm really noticing a difference in quality. So I'm going to do some sunflowers in this. I'm pretty much going to use everything because I just want like a fall theme. And so I thought maybe like a sunflower on each side, maybe some of the taller pieces here in the back. And I'm trying to save all the greenery on them as well, just pushing those up before I cut them. A pumpkin and a pine cone. And I do kind of rearrange these to get it exactly how I wanted. I was thinking I wanted 3 sunflowers, but it took a little bit of arranging before I was happy with it. So I just kind of move stuff around and add to it. I'm not going to use everything on these 2 picks, but I'm going to use a lot of it. I had so much fun putting these sunflower DIYs together today. I think they all turned out so pretty. The sunflower is such a bright flower for fall, and it can kind of work with all those fall colors, right? So I finally found a spot for my 3rd sunflower there, and then I chose the Hello Fall word and the little wood fall words that they have at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to paint it this golden sunset color. It's going to go nice, I think, with the sunflowers, and it's not too late. I'm going to glue it here on the front of our little planter box. It doesn't cover up as much as the Hello Autumn one, and so here it is, our little mini sunflower planter box. So cute and easy, just a couple of items from the Dollar Tree, and I think it turned out so sweet. Isn't that stencil pattern really pretty? I am totally digging that. I think I've picked up one of each kind of stencil. I just keep finding more for the fall. My stores kind of have fallout, but only like halfway, and you have to kind of go through all the boxes. It's still kind of a mess. Okay, for our next DIY, we're going to use one of these little wood pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. Pretty standard. They seem to have these every year at Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to remove the hanger and the little raffia bow that's on there. I do make sure I get all the hot glue off because I want to stain the back pumpkin there. And I'm going to use the same mixture that I used for the planter box. Just water mixed with Antique Wax by Waverly to give me this lighter stain. And then I'm just going to go over the whole pumpkin and stain it that color. Now, this is going to be a decoupage pumpkin. And so I want to decoupage on the little sections that kind of stick up on the pumpkin. So I am just painting them ivory. And we're going to use those really beautiful fall napkins they have at the Dollar Tree this year. And I thought that we could put that pumpkin and sunflower design on the white parts of the pumpkin. So I'm trying not to get ivory on my stain parts, but if I do, it's not that big of a deal. It's easy to wipe it right off there with a little baby wipe. And here is our beautiful napkin. I also use this napkin to decoupage a sign for my coffee bar. If you haven't seen my coffee bar video, it came out last week. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I know a lot of people are really busy right now, but like my last 5 videos are just not performing at all. So check my channel, see if you've missed any videos because I have put out a lot of content. Just not getting a lot of views there. So all I did was separate the second ply from the napkin, always good to do if you're doing decoupage. And then I'm kind of cutting along the first section, the middle section of the pumpkin, where I would need that to be. I'm going to save the side parts because we'll use those for the side parts of the pumpkin. And then just cut it down to size. Now the parts that are going to be on the pumpkin that are going to be exposed, I just ripped the edges just to make that blend in. And it's okay if I didn't get it cut perfect because we can fix this up in just a minute. I'm just putting a thin coat of Mod Podge down and then with dry fingers just smoothing that napkin on. It's such a beautiful design. I give that a nice dry with my heat gun and then I go back in there with my finger sander to kind of get in there, sand that off a perfect cut all the way around the sections of our little pumpkin. And I want to continue this pattern on the napkin, on the other sections. So I'm going to kind of line those up and hope that the arch pretty much works for the cut that we're going to have there. And again, any of the areas that are going to be exposed like on the top, and the side over here, I'm just going to rip those. You can always get that wet to rip too if you want to make sure you don't rip your image, but it was a very little area that I had to rip, so it was pretty easy. And then again, I just put a thin coat of Mod Podge down and lay the napkin on there. Right where it'll kind of cover everything and it'll make it look like that sunflower and pumpkin pattern continue, and then just sand off the excess. I love decoupage. I love decorating with like window decals from the Dollar Tree, but I always love the feel of decorating with decoupage with the napkins. It has such a beautiful texture and it just looks so good. And you don't get any of that sheen or shine with it either. So once I get it on there and dry, I did go over it again with a little bit of Mod Podge, and now it's time to decorate the top. I'm going to use this great pumpkin and like burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to kind of do just like a bow back, not necessarily an entire bow. So I just cut down like a little like maybe 5-inch, 6-inch portion of that. I'm just going to use some twine to make a new hanger for our pumpkin. And then I just take my ribbon and I'm going to fold it lengthways and then just dovetail the ends like you would have on a bow. And then I'm just going to kind of cinch that up and kind of have that peek out behind because I want to decorate this with a sunflower and not necessarily a big bow. So I just kind of scrunch it all together, making a very easy little bow here by using a zip tie, pulling it tight, and kind of pushing out the edges. It does have a wire on there, so it keeps it shaped pretty well. And then I just hot glue the little zip tie to the top of our pumpkin. And it's going to give us that little bow feel up there without an entire bow sticking out. Super sweet, and I think the colors work well. I still have a sunflower left here from that floral pick, so I'm just going to use that at the top. And then it also had some leaves left over on that little fall floral. So you know what, let's use those as well. And we'll kind of do a similar style that is on the napkin by gluing those to the sign and then gluing the little sunflower up here to decorate our bow. Now, when I was looking at my fall floral, I did still have some greenery on there, and I thought that would even add to it more. So I might as well use it if I have it. So I'm going to use like the little green sprigs that were on the fall floral as well. And we can kind of have those kind of cascading down the front of the pumpkin. And so it's just a matter of hot gluing those between the sunflower and the bow. I'm going to do 2 on each side, and this DIY is complete. This pumpkin's not really very big. You could layer this on another sign if you'd like a bigger sign, but I think it turned out so cute. It was so easy to make with just a $1.25 sign and a napkin. Look how cute it is. I love that, and I think that's going to go great with any fall decor. I love the big sunflower on there. It really goes with our sunflower theme, as the sunflowers there in the napkin. But isn't that a cute way to decorate that little wood pumpkin sign from the Dollar Tree? And here's how it looks from a distance. Isn't that cute? I'm a big fan of that DIY. Okay, up next, I found these. I don't know if I've seen these before this season, but they have like these tinsel like pumpkins and acorns this year. So we're going to DIY one of these pumpkins. And I wanted to do something really beautiful with this. Might as well save the thankful word because that was easy to get off. But otherwise, I'm just going to cut all of the tinsel off. Not a fan of that. Kind of makes a big mess when you're cutting it off. So I like to use like a little lint roller to pick up all those little pieces of tinsel, but let's get rid of all of that and we can start DIYing this. I also removed the felt from the little pumpkin stem. Now there's little tabs along the side, but I think they're going to stick out and be noticeable in my design. So I just use some heavy duty scissors and trim all the way around the pumpkin, giving myself a clean edge. So that I can wrap it with a raffia. Now, I got this bulk roll of raffia on Amazon. It was a really good value. And one reason I got it is because you can unroll it like this and make a really thick piece of raffia. It kind of gives you the same look as if you had corn husks, which is kind of what I wanted to use for this DIY, but I couldn't find any dried corn husks available. So we're going to try it with this raffia. Now, the most time-consuming part of this was unwinding it to flatten it out like that. That did take me a while. I don't know if I'll do that again. I might usually use the raffia all rolled up like it is, but I wanted this like wider ribbon if I could get that. So that's what we're gonna do. And I just glued that to the top, and we're just gonna weave this through the top row and then go around the edge. And then when coming back, I'm going to switch directions of which ones I'm going under and which ones I'm going over. And we're going to weave this entire pumpkin form. I love DIYing these little tinsel signs from the Dollar Tree because you can take that cage that's underneath and just make really beautiful DIYs with it. And this was no exception. I really love how this turned out. The raffia was really easy to work with. You can just kind of glue it to start and stop. I didn't want my pieces to be too long. And when you're unrolling it, I did find it tearing every now and then. And so if it did tear, that's kind of when I just start and stop a new piece. But I like how it turned out. I'll have to put this raffia roll in my Amazon shop. I always have it linked in the video description below if you're interested in it. I kind of got it because I can unroll it like this for fall DIYs, but also because I think it's going to make some really fun coastal crafts as well. I've kind of looked how some things that I've bought in my home are constructed, and it seems like a lot of stuff kind of has like that raffia base. So not from the Dollar Tree. If you did want to use something from the Dollar Tree that's going to get pretty close, I would use like the little grass skirts from the summer section at Dollar Tree. If you took, instead of like, you could take like 3 wide and kind of do the same weaving pattern. It's going to be a slightly different color, but you could totally do it. And those pieces are nice and long on the grass skirts too, so it'd be easy to work with. So I just keep weaving all the way. When I get to the bottom, I don't have any tabs on the side anymore, so it gets a little tricky to keep it on the sides, but a little dot of hot glue will keep it on there, and we filled it up. Now, the color of the cage is that like dark orange color. It's not too obnoxious, but I do kind of want to disguise that if I can. So I'm going to use some more raffia to cover that up. I didn't really want the lines going across to be really noticeable, and so I kind of used the raffia there still wound up. I did not unwind that part, but for the other sections that I cover, I do unwind it. So I'm just gluing over that little plastic line that goes straight across. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other 2 rows here as well. And I'm also going to cover the rows that are going vertically too, to kind of give it that like little segmented look that you would have on a pumpkin. And I'm glad I did this. It was time consuming unrolling it. It was a little bit more work than I thought it would be. Like literally like turned off my camera and unrolled and unrolled. So I'm going to also do the edges of the pumpkin. For this one, I unrolled it and I'm just gluing like the top half here along the edges. I thought this would give us a nice finished look all the way around the edges of the pumpkin. And this DIY turned out so high-end, nobody would ever guess that it was like a little tinsel pumpkin for $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just working a section at a time. I'm just gonna hot glue that all the way around. And then I'm gonna go back and kind of wrap that around the edges as well. When I get in here to the top, I decided to just go ahead and keep using that same piece. And we can just wrap that around the little pumpkin stem, hot gluing it in place if needed. But I just kind of want to cover up anything that you might see there. I'm totally fine with that being like the same color as my pumpkin. So this is the back here. I'm going to hot glue the edges around. So it's basically going to seal in the little plastic cage on the sides, kind of hide everything and give everything that kind of raffia or like corn husk feel. It really did kind of feel like that material, but it's probably easier to work with that, I would guess. I was trying to see, like, even at the grocery store, I was having trouble finding corn husks. I love corn husks for fall DIYs. I think they go great with it. Now for these little segments in the middle, I also use the unwound raffia. so I can kind of make it a little bit thicker, make it stand out a little bit, and cover more of the plastic. And then I'm just going to do that on all 3 sections. And then I want to decorate this with sunflowers because we're doing like the sunflower theme today. I did go back and forth about what flowers I was going to use. At first I was going to use these little daisies. They're not necessarily sunflowers, but you know, you get the softer burlap colors with that. And then one of the little leather fall words. This one says blessed. So I thought that'd be really cute on our pumpkin. So I just hot glued that to the top. And then I was like, you know what? No, we're doing sunflowers today. We're going to use sunflowers. So I picked out 2 large sunflowers off of a sunflower pick from Dollar Tree to decorate the top of our pumpkin. And I'm just going to hot glue them, kind of stagger one a little bit lower than the other. And I did just tie, you know, more of that raffia around the stem there for the hanger. So it's going to be easy to hang this as well. But I think it turned out really beautiful. What do you guys think about my little raffia pumpkin topped with sunflowers? It's so pretty, and I really love those leather words. I'm going to use those a couple of times today. I think they look so high-end. And you get a lot in a package, really. So here's our little blessed pumpkin. No sign of the plastic cage. We did a pretty good job of covering everything with that raffia. And I can't wait to DIY with that raffia again. I think it's really pretty. Okay, next DIY. This might be my favorite today. I got this little sign from the Dollar Tree. It says, I love fall most of all. And I decided to use it as an inspiration for a beautiful fall sunflower wreath. So I'm going to use this wreath form. It's got like 4 rows, but my wood round's big enough to cover 2 rows. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and attach my wood round to it first and just kind of build out from there. That way I'll need less things and I can kind of make it custom to size. I'm going to leave the existing hanger on there and just string that through from the back like that so I can still use it for a wreath hanger. It's just a matter of attaching the wood round from the Dollar Tree to the Dollar Tree wreath form. So I just did a bead of hot glue all the way around. My hot glue gun was not charged very well. So I was trying to get that on there as quick as I could so I could just lay my little wreath form on top. I didn't get it all in great places, so I do follow that up with another row of hot glue, making sure that's good and secure. I don't want that going anywhere, because we are going to build this wreath out and it's going to end up, and it's a pretty nice size wreath. So once I get that all dry, we can flip this over and start decorating. I'm using the sign itself as inspiration for the pieces, and there's a lot of greenery on there. So I picked up 3 things of garland from the Dollar Tree. And they're all different leaves, but you know, sometimes at the Dollar Tree, you kind of have to take what you can get. And I think it actually added some variety and made it look great. This garland is already wired, so super easy to make a wreath with. I just wind it around the wire wreath form and just wrap it around. This is kind of like maybe a star-shaped leaf, I guess. I decided to kind of make it go through this little section here at the top. That way I could get it to stay on there without having to use any zip ties or wire or anything like that. And then just wire it down to itself there at the bottom. It was the perfect size to go around the wreath one time, but of course it's not near as full as it should be for a wreath. So I also got this greenery at Dollar Tree. This one has more of like a heart-shaped leaf. They're both green, but I think that's fine because the leaves on my sign, my inspiration, had green leaves as well. But you could totally do this with fall leaves if you'd want. But really there was no sign of like fall leaf colors on this sign. And it turned out so bright and beautiful. I do go through one section of the wreath form like I did before, just so I don't have to use any wire or anything like that. Just making sure everything is kind of tight and wrapped tight around the wreath form, and it does make it all the way around the wreath form one more time. So I just wire that back to itself. And then my third package of greenery is like a heart shape, but it's like a variated leaf. So I think they all actually worked really nicely with each other because all the leaves are a little bit different. It's going to kind of add to our design. And we're going to add all the things that you see like in that fall picture. We're going to add sunflower, pomegranates, apples, cotton, the whole 9 yards. It actually turned out so beautiful. I was really pleased with how this turned out. And so far, super easy for a wreath, right? Most of the items we work with today are wired, so it was really easy to wire it to that wiry form. And let's get started decorating it. This is the little mini pomegranates. And we are going to use this entire sprig. Again, they're all wired, so they're going to be super easy to attach. I'm just kind of cutting them all apart separately down by the base, making sure that I leave the greenery on there. That's going to make my wreath a little bit fuller. And then we're just going to kind of stagger these around where I think they would look good, and just wrapping them around like the vine and also the wreath form. So they'll stay in place, no floral wire or anything required. I was really impressed with how easy it was to put this together. It was really fun to build it. So I have like 5 little sprigs. One only had one on there, but I'm going to go ahead and use it anyway and just kind of stagger those out all the way around the wreath form. And I know the light is shining right on that sign, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see a little bit. Now, this is also a fall pick. It has like little apples on there, and it's super cute. So we're going to use a lot of things from here, and we might as well use the greenery. It's going to be a different kind of greenery than what we already have on there, and we might as well use it. I use everything on there except for the flowers, but I mainly got that because I wanted these cute little apples to attach to it because there's apples on that fall sign, and that is a great representation for fall too. So I just, again, wire that, kind of staggering that in between our pomegranates. And it's a nice small apple, perfect size for a wreath. And I just kind of nest those right inside. And then I'm also going to add the greenery. The greenery that I pulled off the side was the first thing that we've used that doesn't have wires on it. So I am going to have to use zip ties to attach that to the wiry form. But honestly, I only had to use a couple of those on this whole project. I almost added the little flowers that came on there. They're probably like apple tree flowers, but I decided I really wanted the flowers on this to be sunflowers. So speaking of sunflowers, I have a couple left from the previous DIYs. They have lots of different sunflowers I noticed at Dollar Tree this year. This one has kind of a big rounded leaf. It's kind of a large sunflower. And we're going to go ahead and use both of these. I'm going to cut their stems off, saving their greenery as well, because I want that wire stem, again, that I can wrap around there. And I even added a little extra greenery from that previous DIY from the sunflowers that we used before. I'm going to put one up here to the left, another one down here on the bottom. Just wiring that to itself. And then I also had these sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. You can kind of see they kind of have like a pointier leaf, and they are smaller than those, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and use some of those to decorate this as well. I thought maybe 3 would be like a really nice punch of color. So I'm going to put it over here, kind of staggering it out between the other 2. And then there's pumpkins on the sign, so I'm going to use some of these little pumpkin picks from the Dollar Tree. This is a very soft, like, orange color, and there is a pumpkin on there similar to that. Now, they have these little clips, so easy to attach to a wreath form. Just have to find something to attach it to, and then you can just clip those right to the wreath form. I was trying to decide where to put the second pumpkin. I decided to wait until I added some more stuff to it to figure that out. Now, these are the little cotton pods from the Dollar Tree, from the Crafter Square. And the great thing is they're already on wires. So that's going to make it even easier. I'm going to stagger those throughout the wreath. And these are also, of course, on the sign, the fall sign below. So I thought maybe a pumpkin over here, another like little cotton piece up here. Isn't it so pretty? I think that this wreath really screams fall. I love it. I love all the inspiration I got from the wood round. It was perfect inspiration, and I was able to find all of this stuff at the Dollar Tree. So that was definitely a win. Just trying to arrange everything. We're going to use the existing hanger that was on the wood round to hang the wreath form, so I don't need to add anything else to it. And I think it looks really full and beautiful. What do you guys think about it? I love the greenery on there just because it makes it so colorful with the yellow sunflowers and like the red fruit and stuff like that. And this is how it turned out, our little I Love Fall Most of All wreath. It was kind of a work in progress. It was really fun to build this out, and I just love how it turned out. It's so beautiful and colorful for fall. Love it, love it, love it. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my private Facebook group. I always have it linked in the description below. You're going to find out when I post new videos, and you'll get to see what everybody's been DIYing. I also have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Threads, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. Okay, next DIY, I picked up one of these felt sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. I always love these, but I don't really know what to do with them, and I had a great idea for this one. So I'm going to show you how I use it. I don't like the glitter side, so I plan on using the back. And I thought if we did like a Dollar Tree wood round sign in the middle, that could cover up the glitter part there, and we could build a really fun like sunflower wall hanging. So the hanger is kind of in the way on this wood round from the Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove it. But otherwise, it's the perfect size to go in the middle of the sunflower. Like that. I like the white frame of it. I think I can leave that. I think that will be fine. But to cover like the middle part of the sunflower, I have something planned for that as well. So it's just a matter of attaching this. It does have a thick round frame that goes around the edge. So if you're careful, you can just staple the felt flower to the back of that. And try your best to like keep it right on that rim so it doesn't go all the way through. So that's what we have so far for our sunflower wall hanging. I also want to make a hanger on the back, so I might as well just go ahead and do it now. I just take some Dollar Tree twine, tie a simple knot, and then we can just staple that onto the back of the sign as well. And then to cover like the middle of the sunflower part, I found some brown like washcloths from the kitchen aisle at Dollar Tree, and I thought we could do like a fun design in there. I like to DIY with unexpected materials from the Dollar Tree sometime, and this is no exception. Now they're scrubbing washcloths, so see the inside texture has like that net on it. I think that looks really cool and kind of like symbolize, you know, the inside of a sunflower with like sunflower seeds. And it's going to be the perfect size too. So I just need one. It comes in a 2-pack. And it's just a matter of cutting it down to size. I need it to fit inside that little round frame. It was a little tricky to mark this out though. So I just turned it over and used a Sharpie and tried to like feel where the frame was. And I am going to border it out so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I did find it a little tricky to try to keep it like down and mark that out. And so the way I'm going to use it, this like top part of the washcloth is actually going to be down, but it's going to be under that like mesh net material, so you won't even know it. But I'm just going to cut that down to size. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to border it out. It did shed a little bit there when I cut that material. So we'll have to attach the washcloth part first. That's going to be like our brown background color. And I do like the fact too that it has that grid. I think that looks kind of cool. I was trying to decide which way I was going to do it, and I decided to use it upside down because I did kind of have a little bit of Sharpie on the other side, and you're not going to be able to see it in the end. To attach it, it's kind of thick, so I thought some of the tacky glue from Dollar Tree would be great. So I just put like a thick coat of that down and just lay the little washcloth right on top. And again, I know it's not perfect, but we are going to frame that out so you won't be able to see like the edges of my circle. Circles are hard, y'all. And then I do hot glue all the way around the top part here so I can start gluing the mesh on. And then I'm going to go in and do the same thing here for the bottom. Now, to frame it out, you could use like Dollar Tree rope. That will look really cute too. But I found some of this great like mesh tube from the Dollar Tree in this brown color. Very similar color to the rope. That's why I think either one would work well. But I found this, so I thought we could use this for our little sunflower. So it's just the mesh tube. It's all rolled up. So it's going to fill that little void there between our center and the frame. So I just hot glue that all the way around. Now I was trying to decide, once I got it on there, I thought it was really pretty and a great use for these little felt sunflowers, you know, that I never really know what to do with if I'm not using them for like party decor. So I do decide to decorate it a little bit after I get this on there, because even though it's really pretty and it's really interesting with that like mesh in the middle, I thought it was a little bit plain. I thought we could take it up a notch. So I got that mesh tube glued all the way around, and then I thought, sunflowers. Now see how they have different kinds of sunflowers at the Dollar Tree? This one is like a little bit more orange than the others. And so I think that's going to match the felt sunflower a little bit better. So I'm just going to use like 3 just to make a little decoration on part of this, just to add a little bit more fun. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to do like the left bottom quadrant like that, or if I wanted to do it over on the right side. I ended up liking on the right side better, but either way, I think it looks really cute, and it just adds another little bit of fun to our little sunflower wall hanging. And you could totally use this as a wreath for your front door too, if you wanted, or this would be a great sign to hang around your house. The colors are so bright and fun. And so I just hot glue the little sunflowers, just trimming the stems a little bit to make them fit a little bit closer to that wood round. And the wood round really gives the whole project, you know, the shape and the sturdiness that you're not going to get from that felt flower that was behind it. So here it is, our giant sunflower. I think that washcloth material looks great for the center part of it. And it's just a really fun little idea. My first idea was to use like some stained wood beads for that part. That I think would be really cute too. It would require a lot of them though if you're going to fill up a sunflower of this size. And this is how it turned out. I had so much fun crafting these sunflower DIYs. The ideas just kept coming. So I'm going to use one of these wood bead wreaths from the Dollar Tree. I always buy these and I never DIY with them. So I had an idea of something that we can do with this one. So I want to make a little burlap flower like sack to hang in it, like about half of the wreath. So I'm going to use one of these little burlap bags from the Dollar Tree. You guys know I love crafting with these. They're so easy to craft with. I do want the flat edges along the top of the bag. So I'm cutting the thread to cut the handles off so I can go ahead and keep that. And then it's going to be super easy to make a little half round, if you will, like little pouch. So I just lay my wreath form on there so I can kind of see what shape I need and trace out around there with a Sharpie so I'll know about how big I can make it. And then I just go back and cut inside that line, and then it'll be big enough where I can glue it to the back of the wood beads there on the bottom of my wreath form. Kind of like that. And I think that's going to fit nicely. So the first step in this DIY is we have to create the pouch. This burlap bag has like a plastic lining on the inside, but you can still kind of hot glue with it as long as you act quickly. So I do hot glue all the way around the arch shape, leaving the top part open so we can fill that with sunflowers. See our little pouch? Super easy to make. And now the sunflowers. I thought I have those little sunflowers from the Dollar Tree, but they don't have any kind of stem. So I thought some of this wire jute from the Dollar Tree would make really cute little stems. And it's going to make the sunflowers stand straight up like we need them to. And so I just start cutting those down to size. Not really measuring them, but some shorter, some longer. I'm going to kind of like stagger them a little bit. And then I can attach these little sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. Now, these already have wires on them as well. Kind of like the items we used on the wreath, which is going to make crafting with these even easier. Originally, I thought I was going to hot glue those on, but since they have wires, I might as well go with it. I decided I wanted a total of 5 sunflowers in this little bead wreath. And so I just take the existing wire that's on there and I just wire it to the wired jute like that. So they'll stand up like that, facing front, kind of like a sunflower. Now, the wire on the little sunflowers is a little bit longer than you need, so I did start trimming it up just a little bit before I wound it around there, so I didn't really have to hide anything. And I'm going to have these kind of going in differing lengths, like peeking out of the little burlap bag. But wire to wire on that, pretty sturdy, and I think they're going to stand up nicely on their own. And I saw like a similar project online and they use the grass skirt from the Dollar Tree for a little grass. So I thought that would be a really cute idea too. So I had a little grass skirt handy left over from crafting another DIY. So I might as well use that for raffia. And this is what I was talking about that you could use in replacement of the raffia that I got on Amazon if you didn't want to order a whole roll. So we have a little grass cut down, and then I remember Dollar Tree now has these burlap leaves, so that would be perfect for our little sunflowers. They have different sizes, small and large. They also have like tan or white. So what I want are these, the little tan ones, and it worked out perfectly because I needed 5, and there was 5 in a package. So I'm just gonna hot glue those, kind of alternating which side the leaf is coming out. Also alternating like where it's at, so they'll all like kind of stagger nicely when I go to put these in the little flower pouch. So all 5 are little burlap leaves on there, and I'm really glad I remembered I had those. I think that provided a really fun touch. So the first thing we're going to add to the pouch is the grass. So I'm just kind of staggering that out, where we can have like little raffia grass like coming up in between the sunflowers. Just another little fun texture. I decided just to double up a couple of them just for a little bit of variety. And now it's just a matter of hot gluing these all down. At first I was thinking about using something but like a little lightweight for the glue, but nah, I went ahead and used hot glue on this too. So I just hot glue those down. Again, I'm using like 2 in some sections just to make it a little bit thicker. And definitely 1 piece of grass between each flower is kind of how I'm laying it out. And then I decided to trim them all different lengths so they're not too crazy. Now it's time to attach our sunflowers. I start right here in the middle, kind of hot gluing that into place and gluing the bag around it. Wanted to kind of check how high I could get it. Probably needs to go down a little bit. And my hot glue was still wet, so I was able to move that down a little bit so it's not too tall. I think that looks cute. And I want like the sunflowers, some of them to be up, some of them to be down. So I'm just going to kind of alternate up and down, hot gluing those right into place. And when I'm hot gluing those down, I'm also gluing the burlap pouch down on top. Will kind of seal those all in there as with the grass. But I wanted to get them all lined up first and then just glue the pouch shut. It's so cute, isn't it? Now to decorate the front of the little flower pouch, we're going to use some of those leather words from the Dollar Tree again. This time, we used Bless last time, so we're going to use Grateful for this one. And it fits on there perfectly. I love the leather on the burlap. The textures are great. And I just hot glue that down to the burlap bag. Now it's time to put it all together. I'm going to leave the wood bead round unfinished like this. I think it's so cute. I just need to attach it to our pouch. And it's going to fill up half of it. And the two outside sunflowers are a little taller than the wreath, but that's okay because they can kind of peek out on the sides like that. And I just attached the wood beads down with hot glue. Kind of sealing it all together, making sure none of my sunflowers get hidden there. This is a really easy, fun DIY to put together, and I think it's just so beautiful. I don't know if I have the link to or I saw something like this online. If I can find it, I'll post that in the description below. But they definitely inspired me to make something like this, and I think it turned out so cute. I just used twine for the top to make a simple hanger. And this is how it turned out. I think it's so sweet. I love all the burlap. The little bright sunflowers are so cute. And the addition of the little burlap leaves, I think, really kind of make this DIY. Again, this would be really cute hanging on your front door for fall. Or it's kind of a little bit on the smaller size for a wreath. So I think I'll use mine either in my kitchen or in my entryway. Sometimes I like to decorate even like the door to my garage. That might be cute there as well, but I love it. I love the pop of yellow from the sunflowers, and you guys know I always love burlap. Now I designed this autumn flower market design. I will share my free printable with you in the description below. And I printed it out on 8.5 by 11, just regular size cardstock, which is almost exactly the right size to this Dollar Tree sign. It just required a little bit of trimming to get it to fit down inside that frame. And I guess I've never really realized that that was exactly the same size as a sheet of paper. So I'm just trimming it down in little pieces. Some of you guys have asked in the comments why I don't use paper cutter, and I really do have a paper cutter. I just don't know where it is. I think it's buried somewhere on my workbench out in the garage. I need to find it though, because it would make my life easier, right? So I do a fairly thick coat of Mod Podge all over that back sign and just lay my cardstock down right on top. One reason I like to Mod Podge cardstock is since it's nice and thick, you don't get any wrinkles or anything like that. So I got it in there, I dried it, and then I just went over the top of it with more Mod Podge. What a quick, easy little sunflower sign. I love the idea of an autumn flower market. I thought we could take it up a notch though. Let's add some more sunflowers to it. So I found this fall floral pick, and this is from the Dollar Tree. It has like, I'm going to use like the sunflower on there and some of the greenery, and just kind of put that in the corner there that's kind of not really have anything in it. I do always remove like the hanger that I don't need on those Dollar Tree signs, because you can kind of see them if you're not going to be hanging with that one. So just kind of dismantling this pick to kind of see what I wanted to use out of it. I really like those little like branches, and I really like the fall leaves. So I'm going to use the two branches, just hot gluing those right in the corner, as well as the orange fall leaves kind of peeking out over it. And then we can just top it off with that sunflower. And it just really kind of brought the sign to life. You could totally do it without the addition of the flowers, but it added a little something, I think, and I will share that free printable with you below. Super easy way to make a fall DIY. And I think it turned out really beautiful, and really, it only took me a few minutes to put this together. And there's sunflowers on there, so we gotta love that. And I love that watercolor print. It's so beautiful. So here is our little autumn flower market sign. And I love DIYing with those blank signs from the Dollar Tree. Now this I found at Dollar Tree, and I don't have to do anything to it. It's a little sunflower pumpkin. It's even got like a little gourd, some fall greenery sticking up. But you know what? I think it's perfect, and I think this is going to go great with the sunflower display. So I thought I would show it to you anyway, because it's sunflower and it's for fall. This would be really cute on a tier tray as well for fall, or it's kind of not too small. You could just kind of set this around with your fall decor. Now, these were all brand new sunflower DIYs for you using items from the Dollar Tree, but I remembered I did have some sunflower DIYs that I've made before for my coffee bar, back kind of before I even had a coffee bar. So I wanted to show you those as well because they were really cute too, and it might give you some extra ideas when decorating with sunflowers. So I'm using a wood round from the Target dollar spot just because that's what I had, and a calendar from the Dollar Tree. This design says honeybees and flowers, please, and it's got little sunflowers around the edges. And I was doing a sunflower theme for my coffee bar. So I just put a coat of Mod Podge on my wood round, and I just covered it straight with the calendar page. And luckily you couldn't see the design underneath there. It hid pretty well. So I'm just kind of smoothing that out. The calendars from Dollar Tree can be a little thin, but I do love to pick them up for crafting because you can get great designs like this. And it doesn't matter if they go out of date because you can just save these and use these anytime. Once I got it dry, I Mod Podged over the top, trying to get it to kind of flatten out. And the bubbles did kind of flatten out a little bit after I got it all to dry. But I haven't cut it down to size yet, so I am actually going to just get it really good and dry and then just use a sanding sponge all around the edges to give me that perfect round cut. And this was a really cute sign. Before I had a coffee bar in my home, which I DIY'd on here, I just had a shelf, and because I really wanted a coffee bar, so you'll kind of see that today. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I do go over it with a little bit more Mod Podge just to make sure it's good and sealed. Once I got that dry, I kind of wanted it to look like a hand-painted sign a little bit too, so I just still did a little distress all over with a chunky brush with some ivory just to kind of break it up, make it look not so perfect. And just kind of wipe off any excess there with a paper towel just to kind of break it up a little bit, make it look less like a sheet of paper from a calendar and more like a hand-painted sign. And it kind of looks like shiplap like already, like I really didn't have to add that effect. That was kind of in the image already. So that turned out pretty cute. I did distress a little bit here in the middle because I thought you could see a little bit of the sun shining through from the wood round that we used. Now I wanted to border it out, so I thought some of the brown rope from the Dollar Tree would be perfect for that. It's going to go with the bee and the sunflower theme, which I'm not really doing bees on this coffee bar, but I think they go great with sunflowers, so you could totally mix both together. So I'm just going to hot glue the rope all the way around the edge, and it's going to make a really cute sign for the top of my sunflower coffee bar. So I think that always makes a wood round look nicer whenever it has any kind of a frame. This one already came with a hanger on the back. It's going to make it easier to hang. I did want to kind of make it look a little bit more 3D though. So I do plan to add a little flowers to it. At first I wanted to kind of clean up the rope here. A lighter works great to burn off the fuzzies from that Dollar Tree rope. I didn't have any tiny sunflowers small enough to work for this, so I decided to take like a Dollar Tree daisy and just kind of use the center part. It was going to be the perfect size, so I just kind of cut down that middle section. I did kind of have to just hot glue it right on top of some of the sunflowers just to make it look a little bit more 3D. So I decided to do a total of 4. I'm going to do one on the top, one on the bottom, and one on each side. And this sign turned out really cute. It kind of has like that farmhouse feel, especially since it's distressed with the flowers and the rope. I think it's really cute. And that little like shiplap background. So I just cut these down and hot glue them right in place. And I think that looks really cute. I kind of only had one picture of this, but here's kind of a grainy picture, but I'll show you how it all comes together, and I do have some more video footage of this as well. But I think it's really cute. Honeybees and flowers, please. Always check those calendars at the Dollar Tree because you can find some gold like that. Now for the next DIY, I wanted to make 2 sunflower signs. So I picked up some of this removable wallpaper from the Dollar Tree in the wood pattern, and I just cut it in half because I wanted to make 2 long signs, one to go on each side of that sign we just made, And then using these little wall stickers from the Dollar Tree and the sunflower pattern, I'm just going to peel and stick those right onto it. It's kind of the exact same material that removable wallpaper from the Dollar Tree is made out of. There were some bees on there as well, so I might as well add them to go with that sign. And this is the other one. On the back, it has one sunflower instead of two, so they are a little bit different. But they are just about the perfect height for one of these long signs. And I didn't really have any signs like long enough, so I actually decided to use foam board from the Dollar Tree just to make some little custom lightweight signs. And so I just peel and stick that wallpaper straight to the foam board and then just cut this down to size. And then I can just kind of hang these on the back with some double-sided tape. Easy peasy little custom sign for my coffee bar. So I'm going to do the same thing here with the other one. Just kind of peel and stick, lining it up with the two straight edges, and then just use an X-Acto blade to cut through that. Now I did kind of want to frame them out as well, kind of like I did with the rope. Originally I was going to use the bees, but I decided they were kind of in my way, so I decided not to use those because I wanted to use some of this burlap ribbon to frame it out, and I'm just going to hot glue that all around all four edges, and it just gave a nice interesting texture and a fun little rope border that's going to look nice with the other sign that we just made. So I think that looks really sweet. We're going to do the same thing here with the other side. And it just shows how easy it is just to take a couple inexpensive items from the Dollar Tree like this and really make a cute custom sign kind of to go anywhere you want it to. And the foam board is really lightweight, so it's great to hang on your wall, especially if you don't want to cause a lot of damage. I really like that zigzag pattern. I think that really adds a lot to it. And this is our fourth and final frame edge there. Now, if you find yours a little fuzzy, you can do the same thing you do with a rope and kind of burn off any fuzzies, but this is how they turned out. I think they're ready to go next to that sign that we just DIY'd on the top of my coffee bar. And let me show you how these look all together. I did one on each side, and I think they look really cute together, very sweet. I was decorating my coffee bar for fall, and again, if you want to see my new fall coffee bar, I just uploaded a video on Thursday, and I did like a classic fall theme. It turned out really cute. Now, the next DIY, I'm going to take just a little sunflower placemat from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to make a really cute pennant banner for my shelf. I had some of this wood pennant, so you know what, I'm just going to use that as reference, but otherwise it's a pretty easy shape to cut. I just draw it out on the back of the placemat, and then we can just cut this down to size. I always like to do a pennant banner on my coffee bar still. I have floating shelves now, and they always look so cute with just kind of a little mini pennant banner like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these all like this. And I was trying to decide if I kind of wanted to leave the back on them or not. I didn't think it was really necessary. And once you cut the placemat apart like that, they're not really connected to each other. But I think this green fabric with the sunflowers is beautiful, and it looks great for fall. So I think 4 is going to be plenty. My shelf was not very large there on my coffee bar. And so now it's just a matter of stringing them all together. I just flip them over, take some Dollar Tree twine, and hot glue that to the back of the banner. Now I did have a cutting mat nearby, so I decided to use that just so I could space these out. I can use like the little ruler on there so that they'll be even distance, because since I'm gluing them straight to the twine, I'm not really going to be able to move that around later. And so I just keep working my way down, and then I just attach this banner to the front of the shelf, and it really gives it a fun little touch. And this is how it turned out. And I kind of have, this was like an opening shelf that I had on my coffee bar. And this area now actually is where my coffee bar is, but here it is, a little DIY sunflower pennant banner. They're so cute because they have a lot of kitchenware like that comes out with the sunflower stuff for fall. And so I'm going to kind of go with that green color to decorate the rest of my coffee bar. Now, I wanted to make a little K-cup box, And I had a lot of these rulers sitting around from the Dollar Tree. So you know what? We're just going to kind of cut these down and make little wood pieces. You could totally use the little wood pieces that you can get in a bag at the Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree. It would work kind of the same, but I was trying to kind of work with what I had. The only challenging part was trying to get the hangers off the back. And I think I bought all these arrows to do like a directional arrow sign that I never did. So I thought I might as well just go ahead and use the wood for something else. So I'm just going to kind of mark these down how big I want. I want 2 side pieces and 1 front piece. And then I'm going to use that decorative hanging sign that you see there from the Crafter Square for the back. And we're going to make a little K-cup box, little storage box for my coffee bar. But you could kind of use this for anything. And these signs are really easy to cut. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these down. I made this DIY before I even had my fancy saw. And I don't really need the hanger holes on this back sign anymore. So we're just going to fill those up with spackle. And I kind of wanted to do like a 3D flower here of like a sunflower on the back. I tried this a couple times. It didn't really work too well, but it was my original design. Now I wanted to match that same green color that we had on the placemat, but I had nothing close. So I mixed all of my greens together. Some blacks, some ivories, until I get a pretty close color, right? Don't give up. And I'm just going to paint all of our little pieces. I didn't really like the way that looked, so I went ahead and removed it and tried again with another little sunflower because I kind of wanted that to look like a little embossed sunflower on there. Again, though, I just wasn't really pleased with how it turned out, so I ended up using something else there, but I did give it a go with that. And I think I got the color of green pretty close, even though I had to mix like 5 colors together to get that. So we're just going to paint all of our wood pieces and then we can put this together. I paint the front and the back, so like the inside of the box will be green as well. It's just going to kind of make it look more like a finished project. And so I kind of paint just anything you're going to be able to see. For the bottom of the box, I'm actually going to use a Dollar Tree bamboo cutting board. It's going to be, I think, just about the right size to finish off the bottom because we're going to need a bottom to this box. But for now, I'm just going to use hot glue and try to glue like a 90-degree angle there, just by kind of holding that in place until it dries. We're going to do the same thing here with our other side piece. And then glue that third arrow sign that we cut down right here on the front, hopefully making a square. And you know, it actually stayed together pretty well. It was pretty sturdy considering the fact that I just used hot glue, but I think a lot of the sturdiness comes from that bamboo cutting board that we used on the bottom. These are nice and heavy duty. I always love these. I try to pick them up for, you can use them for so many different things. I've made cabinets, I've made so many different things out of these. I decided to use a combination of hot glue and wood glue. So I used wood glue on the front and the back, hot glue on the sides. That way it would stay in place temporarily, but I wanted it to be nice and sturdy in the long run. That's why I used a little bit of wood glue as well. That's when I decided I really still don't like how that sunflower turned out. So I am actually going to replace it with something else. I had some fall stickers, and so I thought we could still add a sunflower to it, but maybe not the embossed thing that I was starting from before. So I just removed the sticker, any damage, also touch up the paint a little bit. And then I'm just going to use a little sunflower sticker. It's going to give me that little sunflower that I wanted. But I think it looks better than the embossed sticker that I was using before from the Dollar Tree. So now it's just a matter of filling it up with coffee. I was drinking keto coffee at the time, so I just dump a whole box in. And then I also picked up a little sunflower coffee cup from the Dollar Tree. I thought that would be really cute to put on my coffee bar. And then I thought maybe we could just display one little sunflower as well. And this is how it looks with my little sunflower K-cup box. I really love that sign in the back that it kind of sticks up like that. It really makes it look a little bit more professional for a Dollar Tree DIY. And this was the top of my coffee bar. And since I'd already done some of these sunflower DIYs, I wanted to include these with all of my new sunflower DIYs to give you even more crafting inspiration. Hey guys, I wanted to let you know that I've introduced memberships on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you can support my channel here on YouTube. I am a small channel, so it really helps. You're going to get early ad-free access to my videos and shout outs. So I want to give a huge thank you to Karen O'Haron, Coastal Couple, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Sandra Ray, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Verna Noctigal, Julie Miller, Nancy Warner, Jan, Tammy Coates, and Janae Farrington. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate you. And now it's time for the final reveal. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm. Comment your favorite sunflower DIY below. And don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Enjoy the final reveal.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, it will all seem better outside. Just us in the sky. Part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter? Or is this our fate? At least now I'm feeling better. I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, it will all seem better outside. Just us in the sky. It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, it will all seem better outside. Just us in the sky.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video right here.